Yeah, hello. Good evening, everyone. Joining me across from India. Good morning to the participants who have joined us across from America. You can see on the screen itself, the topic for today is to understand what is an advanced placement. How is it relevant for all students applying for universities abroad? Very much useful in terms of USA. I mean, I'll give you the description, which will give you better understanding. But even if you're applying for countries, let's say as UK, an AP score does hold a good amount of weightage in the way an admission officer from UK would be also looking at it. So we will go through the whole AP topic with this background as an understanding that how is it relevant for as many as students here today. And apart from the whole fact, the kids who are joining across from America, they are using APs even as grade 12 subjects. So yes, definitely that may be a very alien concept in terms of the parents who have joined us across from India, that APs are not just, for example, a profile builder or, for example, a global benchmark metric, or let's say something for scholarship. It's as basic as even grade 12 scores. US students do definitely take it. A lot of kids who have joined me across today are from the States, and they could definitely vouch for the same thing. Now, moving across after a good understanding of what APs are, we'll just give you a good walkthrough of the session roadmap today as well. What are we discussing? We will look at what an AP is, understanding the structures, what are all the APs courses, why is it so important, choosing the right AP, and AP checkpoints and milestones. Now, after that, we will also look at the digital AP. So, the change that has recently been made, what are those aspects, what's changing, what's not changing. Then we will move across to our own approach. How do we specifically assist students to effectively prepare? What are the three most important pillars? What is our AP lab program? Success stories from our side. And then we will conclude our session today with the resources. Now, before we move on to the topic of what APs are, I'll just now quickly run you through with Let's Unbound, an organization that started with a focus on skill building and empowering elementary and middle school students with various STEM life skills and mentorship opportunities and skill building. Now, as these students, once they got into high school, they started looking out for college admissions guidance, and that's where we provided. We evolved our services to seamlessly integrate the storytelling through the applications into our already established mentoring programs. Now, by combining the personalized skill programs, the skill development, and then eventually the strategic admission support, we guide students right from their academic years to top global universities. We have impacted more than 4,000 students across 25 countries, delivered 125,000 hours of expert mentoring. Our commitment to excellence has given us a global rating of 4.9 over a 5. So at Let's Unbound, we don't just prepare students for a specific entrance exam or just a specific application. We give the student a complete understanding of their profile, their requirements, so they're able to conduct their undergrads in that right specific direction. Right. Now, moving across to give you a quick understanding about the co-founders at the organization, Amol on your right. He is a serial entrepreneur. He's an educational visionary. He's got experiences with Tata and Exceed, which is India's largest ed tech platform. He's helped scale impactful solutions across 2,000 schools in 6 countries, impacting more than 250,000 students. He's really known for blending his ability in with business thinking with actual on-ground school realities, and has been really instrumental in helping startups from IIT Bombay and beyond. Now, on your right, you've got Nishant. Nishant is a mentor, he's an educator, and he's really the brains behind many of the learning pathways that we continue to share. With 14 years plus experiences in academy and industry, he's counseled over 1,000 students and design curriculum solutions right from K-12 to executive MBA programs. Right. So that's the quick intro of the other two co-founders. I'm conducting the session today. So giving a quick introduction about myself. I have 12 years of experience within consultancy, and that be with it investments, be it ed tech. I've worked with organizations as Citibank, Standard Charter within the financial role. I've also had a stint with Jaguar Land Rover, and within education, I have worked with Crimson and Added Education. So currently, I am on team. I'm on the founders team with Let's Unbound. So that's a quick intro about me. So with the introductions done, I think let's just move across on to the about AP section. So we can start introducing what APs are, what is the organization that is behind the whole concepts of AP. So we will explore the whole the whole world of advanced courses, the program which is developed by College Board that gives high school students the incredible opportunity to take US undergraduation level classes while still being here at school, right? These scores, once you would be giving them, they're scored out of 5. They are a band score. They're not a percentage score, as I'd be even giving you better description of how the scoring happens. But it is a college level course, an undergraduation level course, which you can attempt here and start preparing for your journey in undergraduation. Now, one of those parts that we'll be also looking across, that why and how are they also relevant to students who will be in IB or who would be in A levels, and how you should actually look into this presentation today, being extremely curriculum atheist in that way. No, it doesn't really matter from which board you are. Everything that I'll be really speaking across would be extremely relevant. Just as a closure about the APs, the College Board, that's a non-for-profit organization which was founded around the 1900. Apart from APs, it's the same organization that administers SAT. So, its mission is to expand access to higher education by providing various standardized assessments and such resources for students. And they also do have PSAT program, which you could be looking across at, along with SAT and the AP courses that it does offer. So that's a quick introduction about what AP is, just on a definition level, and what's the organization behind the APs. Now, let's move in to the aspect of looking at across these 3 pillars, where we're defining AP as an academic and challenge and as a preparation for your high school education, where AP is also that opportunity to earn college credits, and it is also that competitive edge in college admission. So these are 3 specific overall pillars, I'll say, if you're looking at it in a very broad sense. Why do students do APs? So these are the 3 broad sense areas that we could put in across. Why I move into the next slide, we look into various other factors why APs are important, why are they relevant. But on that overall, if you firstly see that, AP, the academic challenge and, preparation for high school, how does that really work out? So, your AP courses provide you with the opportunity to tackle challenging material that mirrors the rigor of high school coursework. This isn't just about, let's say, mastering a subject. It's about preparing you for the intellectual demands and critical thinking required in the higher education in undergrads in America. So by engaging with complex topics early, you're building a strong foundation for a future academic success in undergrads. The second pillar being it's an opportunity to earn college credits. So another major advantage of AP courses is the chance to earn college credits, or and which eventually basically results in either you undergraduating early, cost saving up cost, but completing an AP course will definitely help you get college credit. So excelling on an AP exams can translate into credits that may reduce your college course load. It may save you money or even allow you to bypass introductory courses in first year once you're on campus itself. So the benefit not only accelerates your academic journey, but also eases the transition from your high school life into your college life. Now, the third point, it is a competitive edge in college admissions. So, finally, AP courses give you a really good competitive edge during those academic admission processes. And college really do recognize that students who have taken AP courses, they really do perceive them as students who are really ready to handle the rigorous coursework. So your performance in these classes sends a powerful message to the admissions committees that you're motivated, you're capable, and you're really prepared for the challenges of higher education. This can set you apart from all of the application in today's competitive landscapes. There are various categories, obviously. It's not about just doing a single AP. There's a concept of doing 3 APs, 4 APs, 5 APs. We will be just going on to that point as we look into the next slide, where we really divide up all of the reasons of why AP is why is it so extremely important. So now let's just moving on from these three pillars, that these are the main core benefits of doing an AP, regardless if you're an IB, if you're on A levels, or even if you're on, any of those domestic boards. All of these three purposes are extremely relevant. Now, to really break down and go into detail, why is AP so important? These are the several key benefits that makes these courses valuable part of your high school education, educational experience. So starting with the first point, and one of the most important points, earning college credits. So AP exams offer the chance to earn college credits before even you set a foot on the campus. So this means you could potentially, as I've said before, skip introductory courses, and at a later stage you may realize that you have finished these courses earlier, you have taken courses in a quick succession, so you've been able to either graduate early or save a good amount of time to be doing good amount of internships at the last leg of your college journey. The second part is standardized benchmarking. Now, this is more relevant. This point is more relevant for students who are on domestic boards and not IB and A level kids. And this is that whole misconception where a lot of IB kids and A level kids do believe that they don't need to do APs because they're already on an international board, which is just true to say. Out of the six benefits that you see why AP is important, one is irrelevant for you, but all of the other five are still extremely relevant. So the standardized benchmarking is really for those students who are in domestic boards, which gives the admissions officer a standardized view to your grades. So if you're a student who is, consistently across all of your grades going above 90, 95%, and then you submit 3, 4, 5 APs, and they're all around 5 out of 5s, it does give the message to the admissions officer that your grades are aligned even on a global benchmarking. And there is this one concept that's there in admission officers' minds, that a lot of times your Indian grades do seem inflated. You do have these instances where Indian students in history and arts are getting 100%. So all of your other grades do at times get questions. Yours AP results does provide an equal level playing field for you in that case, if you're submitting them across, if you're doing those APs. Now, the third point, as I just said even before, that regardless of the standardized benchmarking, how is it still relevant for A level or IB kids? So this is that point which you could also now put across for all kids, which is profile build for college admission. So when you enroll in APs, you're really demonstrating your willingness to take a difficult course, to go either in extreme depth with the subjects that you are taking and you're complementing them, or you're trying to show breadth, where you have taken a certain amount of 6 subjects or 5 subjects and you're going beyond that curriculum and taking extra in that way. It does give the right kind of signal that you're trying to explore just beyond the basic syllabus. Now, while you're submitting your APs for profile build, it's really good to talk about three, different categories of you doing APs, which is AP Scholar. There's AP Scholar with honor. Then there's AP Scholar with distinction. The first category of AP Scholar means that you give 3 exams. There's no minimum AP average that you need to have. When you do 4, so the average you could put it across as 3.25 across your 4. So rough, give or take, try to hit at least 4 out of 5s in as many. And 1 or 2 places where you haven't, you could just cover that up. The third one, AP Distinction, is giving 5 AP exams, and it's 3.5 plus that you should be having across those 5 APs for you to have that AP Scholar with distinction. Largely, I do suggest kids to be, targeting 4s and 5s if you're, really looking out for the top 20, top 10 institutes in America. Because when you're earning those college credits, right, you need to earn a certain amount of those college AP results to earn those credits. So, for example, and we'll also cover this up in that later slide, that if you're looking to earn college credits at Stanford using Calculus AB, you need to get 5 out of 5 in it. If you get a 4 out of 5, they won't consider that result and give you those college credits. So very important for you to be in 4s and 5s if you're aiming for one of these top college applications. Now, moving on from your profile build for college admissions, you also do have scholarship opportunities that students could look across. And again, it doesn't matter if you're from IB, if you're from A level, or if you're from the Indian domestic boards, submitting, your AP results can help you. But do also remember that there is no automatic scholarships tied to the amount of APs that you have also done, or a single AP that you may have gone across. So some colleges and some scholarships would let you send AP score reports and may consider a strong AP, results holistically to give you the scholarship. It wouldn't be saying that the badge itself triggers the scholarship, but it goes a long way in increasing your opportunity of earning that scholarship. And it's a very good thing that admissions officers are typically looking across. So the last three categories that I spoke to you about, try to get into distinction if you at least have two AP cycles between now and the time that you end up applying. So all of those kids who are in grade 10 and below, try to have five APs in your hands before you get to apply. And for that simple reason, it increases your chances to do an AP scholar with distinction, have a 3.5 plus across. So it does give a very strong message in preparation for your academic perspective. So that's the scholarship part. The fifth point, enabling you to graduate early. So this concept really lies from the fact that you do a lot of AP courses initially, and you can then omit the introductory courses once you start with undergraduation. That allows you to immediately just get started with the intermediary level. And so that will eventually result you finishing all of the credits required for the degree under 4 years, somewhere, let's say 3.5 years, or in some very rare cases even 3 years, where you could then reduce your cost of living in America from 4 years to 3.5 years. And obviously it also translates in you saving costs. And also do remember, opportunity scholarship opportunities is a very direct connection of you saving cost. But beyond that part of you getting or not getting a scholarship, it also allows you to graduate early, which is lesser time spent in America, which means, lesser amount of cost that your parents would be incurring. Now, the last point, it is time for internships, time for research projects. So though all those kids who are not using, let's say, AP credits for a scholarship opportunity, or they're not going to use it for graduating early, and they're fine by staying in America for the whole 4 year period, they can really open themselves up to a nice 6 month period, 8 month period of just focusing on a really good research topic, spending it on a good internship opportunity. So if you're looking for that job opportunity just after undergraduation, it's really strengthening your profile. You've already have shown across admission capability of a top university, and you're coming out from that institute with extra courses or with extra internship or an extra research paper. It would really does increase your future opportunities as well. So these are, your six very important points that I'll be saying you should be considering of doing APs. And if you could see, in these 6 points, there's only one point which is not relevant for a student who's on an international board, the standardized benchmarking. But the rest of the 5 points are still as relevant for all of the other students. Now, if you even see it from the perspective of kids in America, you may have a certain amount of subjects that you need to take for completing the minimum required or number of subjects for finishing your grade 12, but also try to think beyond that. Try to think, if I have done these APs, but looking at these various AP courses, which I'll just be showing you now, is there something which is extra in my interest? And that extra thing in your interest does a long way in creating that individualistic aspect behind your profile, behind your application. It's always that extra that gets you that application, that admission. Whenever for example, if you're tied in a deadlock between your application and another student's, this AP may just be that differentiation maker. So keep all of that in mind while now we are looking into the kind of AP courses. So these are the 6 reasons that you should have done the APs. These are now the courses that are available. They're available in 7 different categories. The 4 categories that you can see on your screen now, that's between arts, English, history, social sciences, interdisciplinary, and these are the various ones that are available, from world history to economics, psychology. You got government and politics, which is largely around US and comparative. You've got 2 APs within English. Within arts, there's also a nice selection that you could do within